In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie Q. I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Thank you for being here, Chakra King Black, and whoever else is in the clouds. Thank you for being here. Can you float down from the clouds and hit the like button on your way in? Okay, so let me start with my Black History Month presentation for you guys today, as we have been doing all month. Hey, Lee Brand New, Grand Rising, thank you for being here. So now we've all heard this story that I'm going to present in this Black History presentation. So a lot of us haven't heard the whole real story. And I was really surprised when I found out the whole real story a couple of years ago. Someone on YouTube was talking about it. So let me share my screen with you.
Stolen or simply forgotten about for centuries. There's a lot of stories out there that have yet to be told or have only been told from one perspective. When it comes to the Montgomery bus boycotts and the civil rights movement of the 1960s, one would assume that those in charge would preserve history and commend those who pushed the movement for equality forward. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case, as evidenced by the story of Claudette Colvin, a young Black girl who was the first person to refuse to give up her seat to a white woman on a bus. That's right, before Rosa Parks, there was Claudette Colvin. Parks was chosen as the face of the Montgomery bus boycotts for a variety of reasons, leaving Colvin largely forgotten about amongst civil rights leaders, the city of Montgomery, and the general public. Colvin took a stand for what she believed in, and it's a shame that her inspirational story is hard to find in the history books. I'm Symphony Thompson, and this is A Story You Should Know. While a student at the segregated Booker T. Washington High School in Montgomery, Alabama, Claudette Colvin took the bus home frequently. Due to segregation laws at the time, seats in the front of the bus were designated for white passengers, and seats in the back of the bus were for Black passengers. Blacks were also allowed to sit in the middle, but if one white person wanted to sit in the middle, then all the Black people in that row were supposed to get up and move further back. But on March 2nd, 1955, when a white woman walked into a Montgomery bus without anywhere to sit, the bus driver Robert W. Clare demanded that Colvin and 3 other Black women move to the back. The other women moved, but Claudette did not. Reflecting on that day, Colvin said, "All I remember is that I was not going to walk off the bus voluntarily. If it had been for an old lady, I would have got up, but it wasn't. I was sitting on the last seat that they said you could sit in. I didn't get up because I didn't feel like I was breaking the law." However, after the white woman entered the bus, another Black woman, Ruth Hamilton, who was also pregnant, got on the bus and sat next to Colvin. He asked us both to get up. Mrs. Hamilton said she was not going to get up and that she paid her fare and that she didn't feel like standing. So I told him I was not going to get up either. So he said, "If you're not going to get up, I would get a policeman." When the cops arrived on the bus, they convinced the Black man to give up his seat for the pregnant Hamilton. Colvin still decided to remain in her seat, and she was taken into custody. Philip Hoose's book, Claudette Colvin, Twice Toward Justice, tells the story of Colvin in further detail. The policemen grabbed Colvin and ushered her off the bus. She didn't fight back, but continued to scream, "It's my constitutional right. It's my constitutional right to sit here as much as that lady. I paid my fare. It's my constitutional right." Colvin was taken to City Hall where she was charged with misconduct, resisting arrest, assaulting a police officer, and violating the city's segregation laws. Going back to her feelings on that historical day, she said, "It just killed me to leave the bus. I hated to give that white woman my seat when so many Black people were standing. I was crying hard. The cops put me in the back of the police car and shut the door. All the ride long, they swore and ridiculed me. They took turns guessing my bra size and cracked jokes about parts of my body." Colvin was eventually released and went back home. Upon her arrival, her neighbors surrounded her with support. But I was afraid that night too. I had stood up to a white bus driver and 2 white cops. I had challenged the bus law. There had been lynchings and cross burnings for that kind of thing. It would have been easy for the Klan to come up the hill in the night. Dad sat up all night long with his shotgun. We all stayed up.
Who of you have heard this story before? I just wanted to get past that commercial. Put a one in the chat if you've heard her story. She proceeded Rosa Parks in the bus boycott. So that's why I wanted you guys to also know her name, Claudette Colvin. So let me see if anybody, no answer. Okay, I'm gonna continue on with her story and why it is thought that they didn't use her, the real catalyst for the Montgomery bus boycott. So let's continue.
For trial finally came, Colvin pleaded innocent, but was found guilty. She was released on indefinite probation in her parents' care. As the guilty verdict came in, the Black leaders in Montgomery knew something had to be done to initiate change. I told Mrs. Parks, as I told other leaders in Montgomery, that I thought Claudette Colvin's arrest was a good test case to end segregation on the buses. However, the Black leadership in Montgomery at the time thought that we should wait. Fred Gray. So why did some Black leaders think this way? It was partly because of her color and because she was from the working poor. She lived in a little shack. It was a case of bougie Blacks looking down on the working class Blacks. Gwen Payton.
Colorism. Let's continue.
Not only that, but according to
Not only colorism, but classism as well. Let's continue.
an article in the National Women's History Museum website, Because Colvin was a minor and Parks was an adult. Parks seemed more trustworthy as the face of the movement than Colvin. Parks had a lighter skin, which was considered more socially acceptable at the time. In the end, it was Colvin's pregnancy that caused several Black leaders to not use her as the face of the movement. Black leaders believed it would not be good if the face of their movement was an unwed teenage mother. An article in The Guardian titled "She Would Not Be Moved" describes Colvin's situation as a personal tragedy for her was seen as a political liability by the town's civil rights leaders. Author of Parting the Waters, Taylor Branch wrote, "Even if Montgomery Negroes were willing to rally behind an unwed pregnant teenager, which they were not, her circumstances would make her an extremely vulnerable standard bearer. If the white press got a hold of that information, they would have had a field day. They call her a bad girl and her case wouldn't have a chance." Rosa Parks. When asked why she thinks Rosa Parks gets all the credit when it came to the refusal of giving up your seat, she said that the NAACP and other Black organizations felt that Parks would be a good icon because she was an adult and they didn't think teenagers were reliable. Colvin also added that Parks had the right hair and right look. Her skin texture was the kind that people associate with the middle class. She fit that profile. Mrs. Parks was a married woman. She was morally clean, and she had a fairly good academic training. If there was ever a person we would have been able to use to break the situation that existed on the Montgomery City line, Rosa L. Parks was the woman to use. I probably would have examined a dozen more before I got there if Rosa Parks hadn't come along before I found the right one. Ed Nixon. According to sources, Rosa Parks was thrown off the bus on a Thursday and by Friday had several supporters and activists championing her. The Guardian article says that Colvin isn't bitter about the situation, but when she was a teenager, she did have feelings of resentment, sadness, and even bewilderment. They just dropped me. None of them spoke to me. They didn't see if I was okay. They never came and discussed it with my parents. They just didn't want to know me. It would have been different if I hadn't been pregnant. But if I had lived in a different place or been light-skinned, it would have made a difference too. They would have come and seen my parents and found me someone to marry. Once Parks became the face of the movement, Colvin was more or less forgotten. She told reporters that she sometimes attended rallies at churches. I would sit in the back and no one would even know I was there. To make matters worse, Colvin's son Raymond came out as a light-skinned baby. He came out kind of yellow, and then I was ostracized because I wouldn't say who the father was, and they thought it was a white man. He wasn't. I wasn't with it at all. All I could do is cry. After Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to get out of her seat on December 1st, 1955, the Montgomery bus boycott began 4 days later on December 5th. That same month, Black community leaders gathered together and began developing a federal lawsuit that would challenge the Alabama segregation laws. Attorneys Clifford Durr and Fred Gray worked on the case that would become known as Browder versus Gale, a fight against Montgomery bus segregation. Gray approached Colvin, Aurelia Browder, Susie McDonald, Mary Louise Smith, and Jeanette Reese, all of these women who had experienced discrimination by bus drivers who enforced the segregation policy. The name of the case comes from one woman previously listed, Browder. W.A. Gale was the mayor of Montgomery at the time. The women agreed to become plaintiffs in the case. However, Reese later dropped out of the case in February 1956 after intimidation. She and her husband were both threatened. Months later, on June 5th, 1956, the district court found that the enforced segregation of Black and white passengers on motor buses operating in the city of Montgomery violates the Constitution and laws of the United States, because it denied equal protection that was promised under the 14th Amendment. Of course, the city would attempt to appeal the decision, but those attempts proved to be unsuccessful as the Supreme Court supported the district court and ordered Alabama and Montgomery to desegregate its buses. On December 17, 1956, the Supreme Court denied the petition for rehearing on the December 20th. The ruling was implemented, officially ending the Montgomery bus boycott on that same day. In 1958, Colvin moved to New York City after having trouble finding work in Montgomery due to her involvement in the overturning of bus segregation. In 1969, she began work as a nurse's aide in Manhattan for 35 years, retiring in 2004. Ever since Colvin moved to New York, she was largely forgotten about. Her family has joined the fight for Colvin's recognition in the history books. The family asked the National Museum of African American History and Culture for Colvin to be giving more mention, as the museum does have a section dedicated to Rosa Parks. All we want is the truth. Why does history fail to get it right? Had it not been for Claudette Colvin, Ariel Broder, Susie McDonald, and Mary Louise Smith, there would have not been a Thurgood Marshall, a Martin Luther King, or a Rosa Parks. In December 2021, the juvenile court's records of Claudette Colvin were sealed and expunged. Montgomery County Juvenile Judge Calvin Williams signed an order for the records to be destroyed, including all.
So those charges remained on her record for 66 years before they were expunged. The charges for not getting off the bus, and they said that she was fighting with the police and all that. All of that was on her record her whole life. Well, 66 years of her life. Let's continue.
All references to her arrest. Colvin is still alive and is currently 82 years old at the time of the video release. Decades have gone by and her name still isn't as prominent as it should be. Claudette Colvin sacrificed herself when she refused to get out of her seat for the greater good of the civil rights movement. Now, as we approach the 67th anniversary of that day, Colvin is now getting the recognition she deserves. As a biopic about her life is in the early stages with Anthony Mackie directing and Sanaya Sidney portraying the civil rights icon. The film will surely inform everyone of Colvin's story and inspire an entirely new generation. In 2013, while interviewing for Democracy Now!, Colvin was asked, what would she like to say to young people today? And she responded with this: well, keep on moving. The struggle is not over. Every day presents a challenge, and all that hard work that we have made progress as African Americans, we do not want to regress. We want to progress.
No better words could be spoken, because they want us to regress right now. So I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right. So let me drop the link for this. I haven't put my links in my description box today. So I'm going to copy and paste that link just in case any of you guys want it for yourselves. Hey, Dr. Soapy. Hey, Madison. Hey, Detach Myself. Jill's Comfort Zone. Here's the link to that video. Parks was more socially accepted. I'm a history buff. Did somebody else I miss? Madison, Daniel Berry Sports and Highlights, Deputy Voodoo. So put a 1 in the chat if you learned something new with that clip. Put a 2 in the chat if you already was aware of that. I think Dr. Soapy seems like he was aware of that. That is some lost history. No, a 1 in the chat if you already knew it. Dr. Soapy, you didn't already know it? 2 in the... No, I said put a 1 in the chat if that's something new. I said put a 2 in the chat if you already knew it. Okay, so you guys already knew that. So I learned that a couple of years ago. So I was... Now, Dr. Soapy, you got me confused. What's your answer, Dr. Soapy? Did you know it, or you just learned it today? I'm confused. Hey, Auntie Donna. What's going on, Auntie Donna? Good morning, 2300 Jackson Street. Okay, so you already knew it. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Soapy. I'm like, which way did I say it the first time? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I learned that a couple of years ago. Somebody in the chat I think it was Yaya, who was talking about her. And I was like, what? And so uh, everybody automatically goes to Rosa Parks. But it was actually uh, look, I got a Claudette Colvin. Claudette Colvin. So we got to remember her. So um, let me see. What else do I want to talk about? Um, Not much. Um, Let me see. How you guys doing today? Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Great excerpt, Ronnie Q. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about a little of him. I got a question for you. Go ahead. What is the question? I'm waiting, Dr. Soapy. That must be a long question. He typing, 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 typing. This Dr. Soapy with his question. What's the question, Soapy? I don't know what this question is going to be. Would you be offended if someone white asks what black films they should watch? Uh, well, that's a broad question. Like, what would be the reason that they wanted to watch a black film? Would it be to is it for a what is a good comedy? What is a good film that speaks about a certain part of our history or a certain way? You know, they got exploitation films and all of that. So film is just so wide and broad to just ask what black movie should I watch. That's kind of like asking what white movie should I watch. Yeah, that would be kind of odd. Like, what are you looking for from the movie? You want a comedy? You want, you know, what are you looking for in the movie? I think. Hey, Dominique Devereaux. So, do you think that it's roots? Mrs. Well, it just depends on what they want in the movie. That's why I'm asking. Oh, for Black History Month. Okay, I just saw that. I I I I agree with Dominique Devereaux. I think that Roots is a good series. I don't think Sounder is considered to be a movie. Mississippi Burning, Roots, what else? Um, Let me think of something. Those are some great movies I would tell them to watch. Direct them straight to Dr. Kahil Muhammad. I don't know who that is. What movie did they have? I've never seen Rosewood. I've never seen that myself. Good morning, Foot Soldier. I got you now, Dr. Soapy. Ooh, Miss Jane Pittman. Yes, that would be definitely be a good one to watch. Hey, Kimberly, Grand Rising. Yeah, that was. I wouldn't be offended. I just was curious on what they were looking for out of a black movie in particular. I'm just gonna have to watch Rosewood. I think Rosewood came out. Sometimes I get exhausted of those types of movies. I remember not too long ago that Will Smith movie came out. Oh my God! I sometimes I just can't see no more of those types of movies for me personally. I remember that 12, what was it, 12 Years a Slave, and I was just like, I just got bogged down. And recently I saw that Will Smith movie when he played a slave, and I was just like, oh, I just can't take no. Well, it just seems like so many of our movies are like that. But I wouldn't recommend that movie. I would recommend something like Roots or Miss Jane Pittman. In the Heat of the Night. That was like in the 70s, though. Selma is good. I haven't seen Selma. I don't think I've seen Selma. Malcolm X was good. I'd recommend Malcolm X. Yes, Ronnie, I don't watch too many slave movies either. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Malcolm X. The right person has been her friend for 10 years. I have a patient and she was offended. The white person has been her friend for 10 years. I wouldn't be offended. Um, uh, I think make a, I think the we make a ruse. That was pretty good. Hey, Nene the goat. I don't understand what you're saying. You said, I think the we make a root. Uh, what's pretty good. I'm not sure what you mean right there, 2100 Jackson Street. I don't think I would have been offended. I've gotten movies that I've never watched. White people have told me about a movie that I would have thought I would never go see. And then they explain to me what the movie is about. And then I go see it and I like it. What was that movie? Um, Deer Hunter with Mel Street and who else was in that? Christopher Christopher Walken, The Deer Hunter. I thought I would never want to see that movie. Like, why would I want to see that movie? But that was such a good movie. Have you seen Till? No, I haven't seen Till. That's the Emmett Till story. No, I haven't seen that. Um, I just don't feel the need to see that. That's one of the ones like, I can't. Mm-mm. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check something out. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, too much. They did a whole remake on Roots. I don't want to see that. I didn't even like Roots the Next Generation. By the time the Next Generation came out, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't think that. I don't think it's necessary to remake, like they remade the Color Purple. I don't think that that's necessary, especially in this short of time period. Um, J Don called me 21 Jackson Street now. You calling me 21 Jackson Street. You're almost home. It's 23. I thought it was 21. Oh, it is 23. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is it 2300 Jackson Street? 2100. Which one is the song? Is it 2100 Jackson Street, the song, or is it 2300? Till it's great. I don't want to see that movie. I don't want to see that. I think I've seen parts of it. I think I saw a little part of it when he was coming out of the store, and the boy, those men, he told the brother to go back and get something, and then they got in the truck and they chased him and all of that. I think I saw a little of it, but nah, I didn't want to see it. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. And here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Oh, it is 2300 Jackson Street. See, you got me to shut up. See, you talking about there I go. I got another one for that too. I have something for you on that too. So, no, I wouldn't have been insulted. Have you guys watched? Oh my God, what is the name? I am hooked on this series and they turned a new Color Purple into a musical. I went to see it and it wasn't that good. I didn't want to see it, and especially when I found out that it was a musical. I am watching something on Netflix. It's about the Mexican cartel. They have 3 seasons and there are 10 shows. What is the name of that? Oh my God, I cannot believe. And I have been binge watching them for about 3 days now. And I didn't even get any sleep last night because I've been up watching. I had changed the time of my live because I was starting to get sleepy. And then I looked at the clock and it was like 3:30. And I was like, oh, it's almost time to take the dogs out. And then I took the dogs out. I changed the time of my live to 4 o'clock this afternoon because I was like, I'm about to go to bed. But then once I did all that, shit, I got back in the bed and I couldn't go to sleep. So I said, well, do you damn live. You still on time to be on time. So I had a lot going on. What is the name? Have you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, it is 2300. So that's why I was saying 2100 Jackson Street. What is the name of that? It's not called Cartel. It's called something. Oh my God. Well, I can't suggest it to you today. Let me see if I can Google it. Narcos. Have you guys watched Narcos? Have you guys checked that out? Oh, you have a Zoom call meeting with her. Anybody? You guys watch Narcos? It's very good. I highly recommend it. Um, it's a lot of subtitles because it is in Spanish, and it is some English, but it's mostly in Spanish. has difficulty as difficult as it may be to watch some of these movies that give you a small glimpse of how and why African Americans were treated. I feel it's important to understand your own past. I do agree with that, but I definitely agree with that. Let me know when the cartel takes the Oval. I definitely agree with that, Kimberly Black. But yeah, I just I saw it. They have like 3 series of Narco. Now, my husband was telling me that they had more than the Mexican Narco. So I'm gonna have to. I just happened upon it, and it looked interesting, and then I got hooked. So I know this one, the Mexican cartel, they have 3 seasons of it. So I'm gonna look for the other. We we understand our past, but I don't understand what I don't understand is why they're trying to erase it. They're not trying to erase our past per se. They're really trying to put us back in our past without us knowing the greatness of ourselves and how we pulled ourselves up out of our past and had absolutely nothing uh, but a determination, drive, uh, the mindset, education, and all of this type of stuff. See, that's why they want us uneducated. They want us to be like they thought they had us when they brought us over here, taking away our religion, our language, separating us from our families, and thought that we would not, that we would be like some feeble-minded uh, people that would not want better for ourselves and not see better for ourselves. But with all they took away from us, it was outward stuff. They could not take away what the Africans knew because they thought that the Africans were simply savages and had no type of learning. And you know that mathematics came from Africa, astrology came from Africa. We had created so many things, so they couldn't take our knowledge away from us. So, and obviously, we share our knowledge with each other. That's why they separated us. So we had to learn their language. We couldn't communicate with each other in our native tongues because it was so many different tongues in Africa, different languages in Africa, and they didn't want us to be able to, yeah, plot and plan. But it's just, I think that that's what's going on right now. I think that they they just want us dumb. Hey, Fran, Grand Rising. Yeah, that's why they broke up all the families. Mexico and Colombia, and the 2 brothers who ran the Colombian cartel. So I haven't seen the Colombian one, and I'm on the last season of the Mexican one. And I'm surprised the sister has made it this far. But I actually thought Felix was going to make it further than he did. He really screwed himself up by himself. Okay, so they are ruthless. Yes, they are. You mean the Colombians? And it's so bad over in Mexico now. They just, you know, indiscriminately often people and tourists and all that type of stuff. Not like the end of the summer, it was a whole lot of people being found unalive around some resort. Was it? I forgot. It was a. I can't remember what city. I think it was Puerto Vallarta. That they a whole lot of people were found unalive around the resort, and that's why they tell people if you're going to one of those all in. They had a travel warning out, and these were people who were going outside of the resort. So it's like really bad over there. I remember when I was a teenager, and our Sunday school teacher, she was a I don't know, she was probably 28, 29. And we were teenagers, and my sister, she was like a senior in high school, and I was a sophomore, and our other friend, she was a senior in high school. So she wanted to take us to Puerto Vallarta, and she was going to drive, and then she was like, well, I have to make sure, we didn't have no Google Maps and all that shit back then. And she was like, this doesn't look like the way. This doesn't look like the way. Basically, long story short, we drove this long highway, and she was already paranoid because you had already heard the stories about, make sure you don't run out of gas, make sure you get gas before you go this leg, and blah blah blah. And then she thought somebody was following us, and it's like just one woman and three teens in the car. And then we started to get spooked, and we was like, we should turn around. We should turn around. We never made it. Long story short, we never made it. We drove back to Tijuana and had the little kids begging us to pay for these little chiclets and stuff, and got little souvenirs from Tijuana. And every time I'm watching this, I was like, oh my God. With all the bad stuff that's happening there now, it's like we would have been primed to be plucked off if we were going over there like in the past 3 to 5 years. The Spanish news show everything, blow up cars and people. They even go after the big stars publicly. Almost all the inventions, yeah, they stole the patents. There is a video. Let me. I ran across a YouTube video talking about that. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it again. Um, here it is, right here. Let me see. Let me get to. And a lot of our inventions that we invented, the slave master patented those inventions because they felt that we were their property. So they got all rights to anything that we created, and they patented a lot of stuff during slavery too. Let me see. He's talking too small. He's talking too slow. This isn't a good one. Let me see. Maybe this will. Okay, let me show you a little bit of this one. Hey, thank you, Queen Diva. Happy Friday to you as well. Let me present one very important one because you're gonna know how important this was, especially in that era. I mean, real important stuff. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, I'll start it. Now remove the comment.
Patent protection. The 1850s saw the invention of the steamboat propeller intended for shallow waterways by Benjamin Montgomery, a slave born in 1819. This discovery was particularly useful at the time since communities were connected by steamboats, which transported food and other essentials over sometimes muddy rivers. Life-supporting supplies would be weeks or days late if the boats were trapped. Montgomery sought to submit a patent application. Because of his status as a slave, the application was turned down. The owners of Montgomery attempted to claim ownership of the propeller idea by filing their own patent, but the patent office likewise rejected their application since they were not the real inventors. Even without a patent, Montgomery was successful. On the plantation, he ran a general shop, developed connections, and kept coming up with new ideas. The money he ultimately made allowed him to buy his wife's freedom. He also bought the plantation he had slaved on as a slave after the Civil War. And as a result, he rose to become one of Mississippi's richest planters. After he passed away, his son Isaiah was eventually able to acquire more than 800 acres of property and build the town of Mound Bayou, Mississippi. Before the Civil War, records of patents, even to freed Black people, are uncommon. For starters, Black inventors often listed a white attorney as the owner of their patents. This increased.
Oh, this is in the 1800s. So let me see if I can find a more. I'll drop the link to this. He goes into great details earlier. I'm gonna copy that link and drop it just in case you guys want to see that. Hey, Mike Lewis. So nobody got the patent on the paddle wheel. That was very important during that era of time. Let me see. There was another one that I saw. Here we go. Let me check this one out first. Okay, here we go. Let's check this one out. It's 8 different things they're talking about. Great inventions that were stolen from Black people. 8 super inventions white people stole. Here we go.
Theft. It sought to rewrite history, undermining the significant contributions of Black individuals. The patent system, meant to protect inventors, often failed Black creators, perpetuating stolen recognition. In today's video, we will honor Black inventors and explore 8 Black inventions stolen by white people. Number 8. Snow machine. The snow machine, useful in icy areas where regular cars face challenges, goes beyond snowy adventures. Frederick McKinley Jones, a skilled African-American innovator, played a crucial role in its early development. However, his contributions were often overshadowed by others, highlighting a trend where inventions by Black creators were unfairly claimed by white individuals due to financial obstacles in the patenting process. Jones crafted a prototype snow machine using an airplane's fuselage, equipping it with 4 skis for traction and fitting it with a motor. However, a design flaw emerged: no brakes. Yet Jones utilized it to aid doctors in reaching patients across Minnesota's snow-covered fields, providing him with a lifeline during challenging times. Unfortunately, Jones didn't patent his creation due to financial constraints. This vulnerability allowed others to take credit for his work. Subsequently, white inventors like Ray H. Muscat and Joseph Armand Bombardier positioned themselves as snowmobile pioneers, claiming recognition that rightfully belonged to Jones. It is imperative to acknowledge the broader pattern at play during that era. Many Black inventors faced challenges in securing patents for their innovations. This injustice meant their inventions often went unacknowledged or were wrongly attributed to those with the means to claim them. Frederick McKinley Jones's case is just one instance illustrating this pervasive trend. Number 7, the cotton scraper. In Ned's case, racism and greed stained the narrative, embodied by Oscar G. Stewart. Stewart exploited the ingenious creation of his enslaved blacksmith Ned, exposing a dark chapter in history that illustrates.
Now, see here, this is now this same picture has been representing 3 men. I did a Black history thing about the man who created dry cleaning. They had this picture up for him, and when I was doing it, somebody told me that he was a Jamaican, and he's actually on the Jamaican money. Who was that? I think it was Queenie who told me that. Who was that who told me that he's on the Jamaican? This is not the real picture. And I looked at it, and it is the Jamaican guy who is on the money. But they're representing him with the wrong picture once again. This is crazy. This is the 3rd man that this picture is said to have been. But let's hear what Ned created.
Systematic theft of Black inventions by white individuals. This exploitation capitalizes on the brilliance of Black minds while perpetuating a deeply entrenched system of oppression. Stewart's attempt to patent the cotton scraper, a groundbreaking invention attributed to Ned, highlights the audacity of white slave owners claiming credit for the ingenuity of those they subjugated. Stewart, a white Mississippi slave owner, sought ownership not only over Ned's labor, but also over his intellectual contributions. His patent request was rightfully denied, but Stewart's determination to exploit Ned's creation persisted. In a letter to Secretary of Interior Jacob Thompson, Stewart claimed slave owners' rights to both physical and intellectual labor, reflecting ingrained white supremacy. This dehumanizing assertion reduced Black individuals to mere tools, erasing their creative contributions. The pivotal year 1858 barred enslaved Black individuals.
And let's not forget that the Florida Governor DeSantis said that we benefited from slavery because we were taught trades. Taught by who? We were the workers. We were taught how to do things like be blacksmiths and all of this stuff. No, but all our contributions and all of our contributions to modernize everything that we did, that was supposed to be given to our masters. You see how that works? You see how he had the audacity to say that there were some benefits to slavery. Now, Fran said Mount Bayou, Mississippi is the oldest all-African American community in the United States. So that's interesting. He sounds like O'Reilly, very crazy, very crazy. Like the benefits that we benefit from slavery. So many of us are blacksmiths now.
From patent applications, worsening their exploitation. Denied ownership of innovations, they fell prey to white owners, stifling recognition and prosperity. Despite rejections, Stewart. Number 6, multiplex railway telegraph. Granville Taylor Woods, an outstanding African-American inventor.
Now, I remember Granville Taylor Woods because also he invented the roller coaster. I remember when I stumbled upon him, so I definitely remember him. So let's see what else he invented.
Often compared to the Black Edison, left a lasting imprint on history through his inventive creations. One such creation was the synchronous multiplex railway telegraph, a revolutionary communication system enabling trains to exchange messages with railway stations. In 1887, Woods secured a patent for this revolutionary invention, utilizing a coiled wire beneath the train with a magnetic field for seamless communication. Woods's entrepreneurial spirit led him to establish the Woods Electric Company in Cincinnati, Ohio, aiming to market and sell his patents. However, recognition was not easily attained. Thomas Edison, a renowned white inventor, contested Woods's patent claim, casting doubt on his achievement. Undeterred, Woods defended his creation twice, demonstrating its unique foundation. His victory not only secured a patent but also affirmed Black genius and innovation, shattering prevailing narratives and firmly establishing his place in the annals of invention. Number 5, steam-operated propeller. Born into slavery in Virginia.
We saw that one. Let's go to the next one.
Market center with a store, warehouses, and a steam-driven cotton gin and press. Number 4, maritime innovation. Born into slavery in the early 1830s in Maryland, Benjamin Bordley's journey to innovation unfolded amid oppressive circumstances. Despite the challenges, his pursuit of knowledge and self-education enabled him to read and write. A pivotal moment occurred when he found himself at the United States Naval Academy, channeling his innate ingenuity into a groundbreaking invention, the first ever steam engine designed for a ship. This marked a significant leap forward in maritime technology, promising to revolutionize naval travel and warfare. However, the discriminatory racial climate of the time overshadowed Bordley's accomplishments. His enslaved status unjustly denied him the opportunity to secure legal protection for his invention. The prevalent racial bias prevented him from applying for a patent, depriving him of the recognition and compensation he deserved. Faced with this injustice, Bordley made a difficult decision. He sold the rights to his invention. The proceeds served as the means to purchase freedom for himself and his family. Despite the potential to reshape history, Bordley's personal sacrifice underscores the lengths he went to transcend the constraints imposed by the deeply entrenched racial prejudice of the time. Number 3. Innovative whaling tool. In 1848, Lewis Temple, a skilled blacksmith, crafted a groundbreaking creation in his Walnut Street workshop. His invention had the potential to revolutionize the whaling industry, yet racial inequality of the era obscured its true promise. Temple's creation was a unique harpooning tool shaped like a fishhook with a distinctive twist in its head, a pivoting part that securely held onto powerful whales. In contrast to older harpoons that often slipped free during fierce battles, Temple's invention proved to be a game-changer, providing an edge for whalers through dedicated trials and experiments. Recognizing the value of Temple's creation, whalers embraced the improved harpoon as a lifeline, preventing whales from slipping away and making their treacherous job less risky. However, racial barriers of the time prevented Temple from protecting his invention with a patent. Unbeknownst to him, others took advantage of his situation, copying his design without consequence. Despite contemporary resources crediting Lewis Temple with the creation of the whaling harpoon, he never earned a cent from his invention during his lifetime. The patents. Number 2. Boyd Bedstead Innovator. Born into slavery in 1802, Henry Boyd's brilliance made him one of the most remarkable black inventors of the 19th century. As a skilled carpenter, he earned money to buy his freedom in Kentucky and migrated to Cincinnati, Ohio, in 1826. Despite Ohio being a free state, racial barriers persisted, with black codes limiting access to education and civil rights. In the 1830s, Boyd, having saved enough to free his enslaved siblings, established his furniture shop in Cincinnati, know of his invention for livelihood. The alliance led to the craftsman patenting the Boyd bedstead, with testimonials boosting its popularity. Boyd's factory introduced steam-powered machinery, producing over 1,000 bedsteads annually by the mid-1840s. Despite being celebrated by abolitionists, racial tensions persisted, leading to arson attacks on his factory. After 3 burnings and the inability to obtain fire insurance in 1863, Boyd had to close his business.
Wow.
He continued routines. Her inventive contraption featured 2 wooden...
This lady, I'm gonna sue this lady. This lady owed me some money. I'm gonna sue her.
Turn. Despite being a game changer, Eglin's story serves as a poignant reminder of how racial discrimination cast a shadow over even the brightest innovations. The clothes wringer, symbolizing creativity and problem solving, reduces drying time, providing convenience in households. However, racial discrimination in a cruel era hindered opportunities for black inventors, denying Eglin the rewards her brilliant mind and hard work deserved. Faced with limited options, Eglin reluctantly sold her invention for a mere $18. Racial prejudice compelled her to keep her identity concealed, fearing that being a black inventor would discourage buyers. Unfortunately, Eglin didn't profit from the clothes wringer sales, working as a government employee throughout her life. Beyond financial loss, her story exposes how systemic racism denied acknowledgement to talented individuals. While her name remained obscure, Eglin's invention influenced modern mop designs, illustrating her enduring impact on household chores. Ellen Eglin's tragic narrative underscores the injustice experienced by black inventors, deprived of rightful recognition for...
Okay, there's another one. Why I say Ellen Eglin, they used to have those ringers on automatic washers as well. Do you guys remember that? When they had those, well, it was like a real old washing machine that my grandparents had. Hey, Barry Carey. Do you guys remember they used to have the automatic washing machine? Yeah, Edison was a straight up thief. And what's that movie with Most Def where they were, and that the doctor, what did he invent, the plasma or the heart, something with the heart that had Most Def was working with him, but he took all the credit for what they were doing in the laboratory. What was that? That my brother broke his arm in one of those ringers. You definitely remember them. My grandmother had one of those ringers, and I used to love. The washing when the ringer was over, it was electric. And when the ringer was over the washing machine, the washing machine didn't have no lid on it, so you could just add clothes, and I would be in there messing around. I just kept feeding the clothes through the ringer because I love to see how tight it wring the clothes out and shit. And I would just, and then my aunt used to always tell me, "Don't be playing with that ringer. Don't be playing with that ringer." And I'm out there playing with the ringer, and it caught my fucking arm and rang my arm through that ringer, and I was crying and screaming, and they had to come and open the rollers up, and my fucking arm swelled up so bad. I remember those ringers too, Fran. You know, you can't tell some people nothing. They told me it wasn't no toy. You grew up with those? Yeah, yeah, definitely on my grandmother's farm. I remember that. Okay. Let me see. What else I want to talk about? I dropped the link for that one in there as well. Did I drop the link? No, I didn't drop the link. Hey, DC Kool-Aid, good morning to you as well. I'll drop the link for that one as well. I thought I had dropped it. Okay, let me drop that link right here. Now, here's proof. Here is the real, raw, honest proof that somebody wants to eliminate Black history. Let me find that link. Okay. So if you have any doubt that they don't want us to understand the greatness of our past, our history, and all of that, let me share this with you. I'll drop the link if you want to see it all, but I think it's going to sicken you, and you may not want to watch too much of it. Well,
we start our.
Let me show you. Watch live. Trump participates in the White House Black History Month celebration. I was shocked. How come I didn't hear about this? They had a Black History Month celebration at the White House. Did you guys know this? Did anybody know this? I think I'm behind in the. I think it's a delay. I'm not getting any answers. Okay, Jill said no. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore you. I'm just gonna show you the highlights. Who is his special guest, do you think? Somebody tell me who is going to, I guess he was supposed to introduce him or give him and I guess he this is the person who invited him to the picnic. So all of this time is music playing. Let's see what type of music's playing. So they're playing jazz, and you see this man right here. He's wiping his face. They probably didn't even turn on the air conditioner. This motherfucker, he's so hot. He dabbing his face off. So they're playing jazz for these Negroes. They're tucked in tight. They didn't bother to put any chairs up or anything to sit down. Just stand up. Okay. we're having a ceremony. Just stand up. Okay, so all the phones are up. So obviously the orange man has come out. So let's see a little bit. Who bought him out? Do you know?
Thank you. Leo. This is some crowd. These are the best people, Tiger. And we have Adam Scott here also, winner of the Masters, one of the greatest golfers in the world. I've always tried to swing just like Adam. It never worked out that way. And Tiger, we know, and I just want to thank Adam and Tiger and the commissioner of golf. Jay, thank you very much for being here. Jay Monahan, head of the PGA. And we had some interest.
Okay, so what does this have to do with Black history other than Tiger Woods came up on stage with him? I'm going to put that whole link right there for you. What does this have to do? I saw Tiger Woods was there standing like a statue. Ooh, cringe, a handful of tokens. But this is a Black history celebration. Have you heard anything he said? Hell, he ain't invited his damn self. Nobody invites him. Okay. Let me see. Let's peruse this a little bit.
Interesting discussions. But let me ask you, is there anybody like our Tiger? How are you? He's a great. Would you want to just say a couple of words, Tiger? He doesn't. He's much more comfortable.
Our Tiger. He's yours and ours. No, you can have him. But let's continue.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with you, Mr. President, and to be on the road here with all of you. Thank you so much.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with you, Mr. President, and on the roof. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's Tiger.
Go right over there.
He said, step right over there. Get on off my stage. Get off the stage. I'm in race. Let's see who else showed up. Who is this? I don't know who this man is. It may be the HUD secretary. I don't know.
I got to say hello. Come on up here, Scott.
Yeah,
I had Tim Scott
secretary.
pushing him so hard. You have no idea a lot. He comes from another nice place like Australia, right? And they've been very good, very, very good to us. Jay, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. We also have the head of Pfizer here, so I want to thank him.
Oh,
One of the great.
What does this have to do with Black history? Somebody from Australia, the head of Pfizer. What does this have to do with Black history?
People, one of the great businessmen. Thank you, Albert. Thank you.
Oh, they booed that motherfucker. I ain't see that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate our newly sworn in Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner.
Now these Negroes are celebrating the hood man, the nigga who over Section 8. He get chewed.
Come in. I gotta say hello. Come on up here, Scott. I had Tim Scott.
After that booing, I need you to come on up here. I said something right.
Pushing him so hard, you have no.
This is a Black history celebration. The hood, we're gonna bring the hood man, the Section 8 man up here. Hello, Black history.
No idea. I had no choice. Is that right, Tim? No, Scott is. I've known him a long time, and Scott's a real champion. Say a couple.
But you didn't put him nowhere in your administration. The only Black man is in your administration is this Black man who's over hood, kind of like Ben Carson. Your last administration was over hood. He's a whole neurosciences, a neurosurgeon, and you put him over hood. But and you got Robert F. Kennedy over Health and Human Services. But you had Ben Carson over hood. Let's continue.
Couple of words, Scott, please.
Well, hello, everyone. Is everybody happy to be here together? Is everybody happy to be here together? Amen. Well, first of all, I want to thank President Trump.
Okay, but what are you gonna have to say about Black History? We're here for Black History Month. Let's hear what everybody got to be here. Let's see what he gonna have to say about Black History Month. Let's hear.
For his confidence and appointing me to this position, I consider it a great honor and a great blessing. And I thank God for this, and I'm real humbled by it. And you can guarantee that every day that I'm gonna lay it down for the people of America. As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your leadership. I really appreciate you. And for all of those who have gone before us, and those of you who have such a great voice today, keep on speaking, keep on preaching for not just Black America, but for all America. So we appreciate you. And
but not just for Black America, for all America. Look at that. He had to add that when he said not only for Black America. Look at the puss on this Trump, and then when he said all America, he did a little grin.
Love America. I want to thank President Trump for his confidence and appointing me to this position. I consider it a great honor and a great blessing. And I thank God for this, and I'm real humbled by it. And you can guarantee that every day that I'm gonna lay it down for the people of America. As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your leadership. I really appreciate you. And for all of those who have gone before us, and those of you who have such a great voice today, keep on speaking, keep on preaching for not just Black America, but for all America. So we appreciate you. And my sister, Brooke Rollins, and all of those here, Mr. President, we look forward to working with you, sir, and carrying out this great agenda. We pray for you every day. God bless you, and thank you. God bless America. Thank you for President Trump. Thanks,
What? God bless you, President Trump. Happy Black History Month, y'all. Happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month, y'all. Let me see who else is here. Let me tap dance on over a little further. Let's see all of the representation of the excellence of oh Lord. Here come this motherfucker.
EO 2.0. This guy is great. Hello, man.
You are the greatest.
You are the greatest.
I just want to say,
And can you turn your other shoe over so I can lick it? Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay.
we are in the presence of the greatest president of all time. He is
Of all time? Of all times. Oh, you said we are in the presence of the president that increased the debt of the country more than any president of all times. Is that what you're talking about? Of all times. Let's continue.
the greatest president in our lifetime. And I'll tell you right now, the Democratic Party should be a worry because they took us for granted.
What does this have to do with Black History Month, though? Well, anything at all? Or is this just another rally? I mean, what is this? What is this cock of bullshit? On Black History Month, let's praise the orange man. Bullshit. Let's continue.
Granted, no longer. We vote in our best interest. We want the same thing that every American wants. Good job. We want a secure border. We want to pay lower taxes, and Mr. President Donald Trump is doing.
Well, I want the rich to pay more taxes, actually. I don't want to extend the tax cut and add more to the national debt and then them say that they need to cut all social programs to give the mega rich to extend their tax cuts that they got from him, which has us in more debt than we've ever been in. And we're going to extend the tax cut again? Get the fuck out of here.
Doing that. Thank you, Mr. President.
No, thank you. Thank you for get off the stage because I'm in race. Now here come another. Let me tap dance for you. Let me tap dance for you. Let me tap dance. Let me tap for you. Okay, let's see what this monkey gonna say.
You know, you can make a great speech, but if you fall going up, that's no good. Come on.
Wow.
You are great.
Are you kidding me? Mr. President, it has been an honor of a lifetime.
No, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now, what is this ass looking? Where's the Black history of any of this? Let me let you
To support you, to try to wake up as many people to the lies of the Democrat Party and the nonstop manipulation of the mainstream media. That's why I now have my show on Newsmax, so I can champion you, and I'm thankful.
Oh, he's a Newsmax reporter. Oh, thank you. I have a show on Newsmax. I am towing the line, and I got my own show on Newsmax. And the mainstream media is so wrong.
That we've been able to champion him and get him across the finish lines for another amazing 4 years. And let me say, I know God has chose you. He anointed you for this position. He kept you alive so you could be here today. And we prayed for that. We pray for you. We continue to pray for you. And we're thankful for your service and your sacrifice. Mr. President Donald J. Trump, honor. God bless you.
Happy Black History Month. Oh, what a celebration this has been. And I don't know any cockamamie shit that he said in between there, because I didn't watch any of this. I just scrolled through it, just like when I first saw it, I scrolled through it to see who came up. Ain't no telling what he said when he was at the mic by himself. So I'll drop the link for you guys if y'all want to see if he said some cockamamie fool shit, which I'm sure he did because it's him. So here's the link for you guys if you want to hear what he said. I don't know what he said in between those ass licks and boot licking. I don't know what he said. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Orange Man. That's his name, Sage Steele. No, Tim Scott wasn't up there. The other guy, I can't remember his name. The head of HUD was up there. Oh, Tim Scott was that old preacher man. Okay, and I forget the head of HUD. Here we go, child. They're busy worshiping this spray tan nutcase. How do y'all think that was as a presentation of Black history? Isn't he the dude? He's on. I think he's only on sometimes. Little short dark skinned guy. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, this nutcase. Oh my goodness. I came in just in time for the Kings and Coons celebration, Black History Month. The fuck? I didn't even know they had one till last night. Girl, he been trying to eliminate Black History Month and did it with the most federal employees, with the Department of Defense. And this was just a whole entire joke. I didn't even know he had done one. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Nothing else. Okay. So, what else do I have? I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I do want to show you. Let me show you this right quick. Because I've been talking about this. Open a new tab. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. So there have been rumors. There have been rumors that Elon Musk is, like to party with recreational type of things. So I've talked to you guys about this in the past, and one of the things that is concerning, Elon Musk denied access to SpaceX's biggest government secrets over drug and foreign contacts. I mean, foreign people who he has contact with. Over what in foreign people? I'll drop the link to this article right here. You can Google it yourself, and you will find plenty of articles detailing this. So what do they mean by that, Ronnie Q? I don't know. Let's read it and find out. Okay, what does it says? I gotta increase it. Make sure you guys can see. Okay. Not even Elon Musk knows exactly what is on the U.S. satellite rockets his company blasts into space. SpaceX executive decided their founder and chief executive shouldn't apply for the highest level security clearance after lawyers warned his alleged drug use and the regular contact with foreign governments could create problems for the company's defense contracts, the Wall Street Journal reported. But the White House is unable to tell you if he has gone through any the top level clearance to go through our data, our treasury, our social security, all of these things that have to have a top clearance, when he can't even go through the top clearance of his very own company, because and the Defense Department, they said they're starting on the Defense Department. So does he have the top clearance to go through all the information that is stored in the Defense Department? The White House refused to tell you. They refused to tell you. But this is in December. When is this article? December 16th, 2024. This ain't like it was 5-10 years ago. This article was written December 16th of 2024. Okay, this is what I was talking about. I just don't want to keep saying things. I just want to let you know this is who's going through, and they cannot tell you if he has any a clearance to go through these things. Let me see. What is this? I want to close that. I want to close that. So let's take a look at Musk at CPAC, and let's see. Is he talking a little weird? Is he sounding like someone who is going through our government and finding waste, fraud, and abuse? Let's see. Let's see if this sounds like, a person who's about it. Okay, let's see.
Well, President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right?
Okay, so he's wielding a chainsaw. Oh, this isn't the whole one. Oh, maybe it is. Let me see. I want to get to the questions.
Fort Knox. It's the public's gold. It's your gold. Gold. It's your gold. That's all this gold at Fort Knox. It's the public's gold. It's your gold. So, I think you have a right to see it.
You want to take a tour?
Yeah, I think we should have do a tour. And then the president last night was like, "That's all." I think he's in favor of it. That would be cool. And then it should be like a live tour, like you can see.
Oh, so we're gonna take a. We should go visit Fort Knox. It's your gold. Wait a minute. That ain't even the half that I wanted to show you. I really wanted to show you the entire thing. I wanted to go through it kind of like I just went through this other. Oh, here it is.
It's now on President Trump and Elon Musk.
No.
Well, this morning, Elon Musk is now reveling in his efforts to
No. Hold on. Let me go back. These are not the things I want to show.
It's now.
Oh, God. I had it last night. Let me see if this is it. No, that's only 3 minutes. Here it is, the interview. That's what I want to show you, the interview.
Stage prop.
Okay, here we go.
All of you guys too. Thanks, guys.
Have a seat. Aside, and you've chosen to decide. You're sitting here in a MAGA hat. What's it? You know, how did that happen? What was the moment?
It's like dark Gothic MAGA.
That's a good one. What was there a specific moment? Was there a moment that it all changed?
Yeah, when I realized I was a fool. But no, I was, I guess, yeah, I mean, I'd say like I was probably politically neutral for quite a while. Leaning a little Democrat.
How do you go from that to this?
Yeah, no,
How does that happen?
Well,
did they go crazy?
Yeah, they did go crazy.
Yeah, they went crazy.
No, I mean the whole cancel culture and it's trying to stop freedom of speech and.
It seems like your tongue is trying to stop freedom of you speaking. Freedom of speech and why the glasses? It's nighttime. You're indoors. Why the glasses? I don't know. Maybe your SpaceX knows better.
Infringe upon people's personal freedoms. They just want.
Oh, so they want to infringe on people's personal freedoms when they don't think that people should be able to go on social media and call people niggas and spew hate. So you call that infringing on personal freedoms? Oh, okay. But then when you have people coming up against you in the lies that you're telling on your platform, you're banning them, taking them offline, unmonetizing them, taking their little blue checks away. What about all of this ultimate freedom of speech, whichever way it goes? Not so much now, huh? Okay, let's get beyond that bullshit. I want to get to another question.
In the frame, but there's like nobody else is there. Like it doesn't have popular support, but then you learn that like there's hundreds of billions of dollars going to these so-called NGOs. Yeah. And it's your tax dollars that are funding things that are fundamentally anti-American.
And they're propping up their narrative.
Yes.
A lot of that government money has been propping up a left that I don't think is as strong as they made it seem.
In fact, a massive amount of your tax dollars is going to legacy media companies.
Yes.
Directly from the government.
The government wants to take over media.
So that's been disproven. That's already been disproven. He's saying whatever. That's been disproven. Let's continue.
All this sort of federal money going to media companies is what helps explain why the legacy media all says the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it like, it's like weird. Like you can put them up where it's like, like when
they're mouthpieces for
the state.
For the state.
Yes.
And now he's asking the questions and answering the questions himself when Elon Musk get tied up. They're mouthpieces for the state. Yeah, I thought that was Elon's question. Why are you answering your own question?
That's what we've come to know.
Yeah.
It's scary.
And I like that meme where they because they're always saying like threat to our democracy is that threat to, but if you just replaced democracy with bureaucracy, it makes a lot of sense.
It makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make a lot of sense because it changes the exact whole meaning of everything. But let's go.
Big threats to the bureaucracy.
That's exactly right. let's talk about these DOGE dividend checks that everybody's talking about this week. And I know you tweeted out that you're gonna. Does everybody want like a $5,000 check in the mail? It sounds kind of good, right? And the best part about it would be knowing where it came from. That's $5,000 that you sent them last year.
Totally. It's money that's taken away from things that are destructive to the country, and from organizations that hate you to you. That's awesome.
Does it seem? I mean, have you talked?
I mean, that's like glorious. That's like the best. The spoils of battle, you know.
I like that. Is there traction on that?
Yeah. So I talked to the president. He's supportive of that, and so it sounds like that's something we're going to do.
Yep.
So as we're finding savings, that's going to translate directly to reductions.
Okay, so as you're finding savings, you're saying that you're just going to take the money and give every American a $5,000 check. You know that shit ain't happening. So if you're just going to go out and give every American a $5,000 check, but cut off their Social Security, so they're supposed to live on that $5,001 check as opposed to their regular monthly Social Security. So if you find these savings, don't that mean you're supposed to save it, or is it you supposed to give it all away? It ain't savings if you're giving it all away to all Americans, because all Americans are not on Social Security. So if you find savings in Social Security, why are you giving every American a check? It's bullshit. Let me move forward. There's one good section I wanted you to see.
I'm open to ideas for improving security. I have to tell you, I don't actually have a death wish. I think, but it's not that easy. I mean, but I have I've had even people like President Bukele from El Salvador who managed to put in prison 100,000 motorist thugs, and he was he called me. He's like, I'm worried about your security. I'm like, you're worried about my security? I'm like, what? Okay, that's
I mean, talk about guts to do that down there. I mean,
yeah, totally,
and survive.
I was like, how did you put all those thugs in prison without dying? Because it seems like that would have been not easy, Well,
there's the president has one of his top attorneys is now investigating, I guess, Chuck Schumer for threats against SCOTUS. Congressman on the Democrat side, for saying, basically saying we're going to bring a war to you, like a fight to you. I mean,
okay, and we're going to talk about that too. I'm trying to get to that one point.
Like somebody did spray paint some lead or something,
Yeah.
Is this real gold? Fight at the bar,
Thinking about auditing the Federal Reserve as well, which is obviously
sure.
Regulates our economy. I imagine you think the waste has got to be everywhere.
Yeah, no, waste is pretty much everywhere. People ask, how can you find waste in DC? I'm like, look, it's like being in a room, and this target, the wall, the roofs, and the floor are all targets. So it's like you're gonna close your eyes and go shoot in any direction, you can't miss, So it's pretty wild. Like you just push on things a little bit, and you save billions of dollars. Just a little bit, It's wild.
It's scary, isn't it?
But you haven't been able to prove any of the stuff that you said. You put out a whole lot of shit on the computer where you have obviously you made $8 million into $8 billion on one of these reports that you put out where you found that much fraud and abuse and misreading the graph, not knowing how the Social Security is doing their coding, and you're misrepresenting the figures of a 6-year plan, and that has mostly been given out already, and you're acting like it's a plan for the next year. And it's a 6-year plan that is almost over. So I went through all of this shit yesterday where he's lying about these numbers of waste, fraud, and abuse DOGE has found. And listen, this is a man who is so enamored with himself and think everything about him, all of his puttering out things, and this interviewer, oh well, are you going to go to the Federal Reserve? You're sure to find something there. Oh yeah, sure, why not? You can go to everywhere. Yeah, none of this is serious. None of this is serious. So this is who is going through all our personal information.
That's why I say, like, it really is underrated. If you add caring and competence, how much things improve.
Yeah.
And
Caring and competence. Caring and competence. Hold on.
It's pretty wild. Like you just push on things a little bit and you save billions of dollars. Like just a little bit, you know? It's wild.
It's scary, isn't it?
That's why I say, like, it really is underrated. If you add caring and competence, how much things improve.
Yeah.
So he's added caring and competence. So like when you fired the nuclear people who were responsible for securing our nuclear warheads, and then had to rehire them back because you didn't know that they did specialty jobs actually handling the nuclear warheads, but you didn't have a way to get in contact them to rehire them back. Is that the caring and competence? Is that the dragging the head, I believe it was of the CDC out of her office physically and firing her on the spot because she wouldn't give you access to the data in their computer? Is that the caring and competence? Is it the firing 1,000 people from the Veterans Administration and then coming later to find out that these are some people who were on the unalive yourself hotline, and then you having to bring them back and working in specialized positions for the VA, and then you had to bring them back who had been away to wars and who had been in the service for over 20 years, had been disabled from the wars that they had been in, and then still got up and got a job as a disabled citizen for the VA, and you got rid of them with a email saying don't come to work tomorrow. Most of the people got emails saying don't come to work tomorrow. Is that the caring and compassion this motherfucker talking about? And these sycophants in the class, bullshit.
And we just find so many totally crazy things, which, we're sharing with the public. We post everything we learn.
Bullshit. I talked about this posting. They didn't even have an operating website. The first time he said that they were posting everything on X and on DOGE. DOGE only had a homepage, no tabs, nothing you could go to, nothing you could visit, nothing was posted. Period, point blank. And when they finally rushed the website together, they left the back end of the website open where people can go in, add their own tabs, change information on there, because if they were in such a rush, because he had already said this lie that everything was on the DOGE website, and it wasn't. I took you through the website, not myself going on there. Another content creator went on the website and let you see that there was no website. And he had just said that everything was on the website. So then the next day, they rushed and got the website open and left the back end open. And this is the competence that they think is a good person to go through all of our stuff, just blanketly firing people, have no idea the importance of their job, and have nobody to replace the jobs that they were doing. That's another thing. They don't have people to replace the jobs they're doing. And now they're going to the Department of Defense. That's where he get all his contracts from. But what he's not telling you right now, with all of this cutting, you heard him, you push anywhere, everywhere, and it's just savings to be made. But what he didn't tell you, but since he's been doing this, he got over $1 billion in government contract for himself. Can we say welfare queen? He ain't telling you that. How is he getting these large contracts while he's doing all this cutting? Okay, so I have enough of this motherfucker. here's the link if you guys want to peruse this. Hey, Candy Cane. Here's the link. We're done with him. There's so much this administration is doing. Just one of the latest news is the drunk allegedly Pete Hegseth is planning on firing a 4-star general of 41 years of service. I talked about that yesterday, and Renee. Yes, I talked about that. They asked about that general by name in his confirmation, and he says that he has to see. They're going to check and see if the people are up to snuff, and because of the DEI, that some of the requirements have been dummied down. So he's going to get rid of everybody who is not real military ready to serve, and he has only served and was over his personal battalion. But he's talking about firing 4-star generals because they are DEI hires. Yes, I talked about that yesterday. And he was asked about, I forget the general's name. He was asked about that. Yes. I talked about that. About this muskrat have on shades, demonic, sadistic weirdo. Well, M. Renee, Regina, M, you must have just got here, because I did share this this article. You may want to read this article that says that he can't get high level clearance to his own company, SpaceX, because of his. Okay, I'm gonna read the title to you verbatim. This came from the Daily Beast, and they are citing their source as. Okay, let me see. This is coming from the Daily Beast, and they got their information from the Wall Street Journal. They're quoting the Wall Street Journal. The title is Elon Musk denied access to SpaceX biggest government secrets over drug and foreign contacts. Over drugs and his foreign contacts. The article says not even Elon Musk knows exactly what is on the U.S. spy satellite rockets his company blasts into space. SpaceX executive decided their founder and chief executive shouldn't apply for the highest level of security clearance after lawyers warned his alleged drug use and regular contact with foreign governments could create problems for the company's defense contracts, the Wall Street Journal reported. So there's a link to that article right there. I talked about that. I had previously talked about that same article a while back. But think about some of them who may have bought new homes and such and no jobs. There were a couple who had bought a new home, had just had a child, and the child has health issues, and both of them were fired from their jobs. And the thing about it is, a lot of them are being fired, they're saying for poor work performance, when in fact, they have, some of them have just had work reforms that show that they're good employees. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me see. Where am I? What do I want to show you? Okay, this is what I want to show you. This right here about some of the firings. Don't take my word for it. Here we go. We're going to look at some of the firings. I want to get past this commercial 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Today reports that 20 people in the Office of Neurological and Physical Medicine Devices at the FDA were just fired. Perhaps coincidentally, that is the unit at the FDA that was investigating Elon Musk's company, the company that he owns that wants to graft computer chips onto people's brains. People doing that oversight work for Elon Musk's company are just fired at the FDA. And on that point, on that story, here's the thing we're seeing over and over again now. Quote, the dismissal letters sent to FDA reviewers cited performance reasons, even though these employees had no issues on their prior performance and had received top-notch rankings several weeks ago, according to 2 sources familiar with the matter. So they're being told they're being fired for performance reasons, but there's nothing in any of their performance reviews that would support that. In fact, quite the contrary. We're seeing that at FDA where they fired people who were in charge of regulating the computer chips Elon Musk wants to graft into your brain. We're also seeing similar reports in the firings of the National Nuclear Security Administration folks. People being told they're being fired for poor performance, even though there's nothing in their performance review history that would suggest any poor performance. Same thing is happening among people being fired at USDA. And at the Department of Education, and at the U.S. Forest Service, and at the VA, and at the Small Business Administration, and at the Department of Transportation. NBC News reviewed documentation there that shows people being fired supposedly for performance reasons had just received, quote, exceptional performance reviews. And so I don't know if the pattern here seems as obvious to everybody as it does to me, but it seems to me like it's a pattern, right? There was no $50 million in condoms for Gaza that Hamas used to make their bombs. There are no 150-year-old Americans getting Social Security checks. The Reuters news agency did not get a government contract to deceive the public. The government does.
See, the Reuters news agency didn't get money to deceive the government. See, and then you saw him on stage talking about the press being paid. These things have been debunked. But as of yesterday, he's still out there saying these things. They were still saying the things about the condoms until they were asked directly in front of a reporter. And he said, oh, well, we're going to get some things wrong sometimes, but we have to come back and correct them. So this Reuters thing, he was still espousing that the media is getting paid to do favorable stories. You see how all their stories the same. But let's talk about the media who has been critical of them. ABC, Disney settled a suit that they could have easily won. Let's talk about the media that Trump is suing. Is it ABC? Because they said that when Kamala Harris went to do that interview that he was supposed to do, but then chickened out of. They said that they edited her responses, and they have I think it's some crazy. I think it's a $10 billion lawsuit against them. Talking about their FCC license should be taken away when they don't have an FCC license as a CBS, broadcast stations are the people who have FCC license, the people who carry CBS programs. So, let's. But they're not talking about none of the lawsuits that they have out against all these news agencies and CBS, ABC, and all of these people, Disney. They ain't talking about themselves. Let's continue.
Does not fund the New York Times or Politico to produce positive stories about Democrats. The U.S. government does not pay for celebrity junkets to Ukraine. That was literally Russian propaganda. And the U.S. government is not right now trying to fire hundreds of thousands of people who work in the U.S. government because they've all had bad performance reviews. This isn't happening. One way to tell when somebody doesn't actually have a good reason for what they're doing is when every reason they give you for that thing is very obviously made up. None of the things they're saying about why they need to do these mass, and in many cases, apparently illegal firings, holds up once you put it up to the light. But they're going ahead. They're now firing the people who work at the CDC on bird flu, as bird flu becomes a massive multi-state epidemic affecting tens of millions of animals in America and increasingly people. They have now stopped all of the programs in Mexico run by the State Department's Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement. What do these programs in Mexico do for the State Department's Bureau of International Narcotics Law Enforcement? What do they do? Oh, that's the part of the U.S. government that tries to stop the supply chain for fentanyl coming into this country.
Okay, now they stop that aid, and it stops them from working on fentanyl coming to the U.S. But isn't that why he wanted to give Mexico also a reason why he wanted to give Mexico that 25% tariff for the illegal immigration and all the fentanyl that's pouring in over our borders? Make it make sense.
All of their actions have been stopped. They've now started firing people at the part of HHS that funds childcare and Head Start. They are firing the people who work at Gettysburg. They are firing the people who work at Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. And, I asked a minute ago, like, who voted for this? Maybe you don't care about any of those things that I just mentioned. Maybe you only care about stopping immigration, about making immigration restriction work like lightning, making that the most important and top priority thing that the U.S. government does, go fast, get people out of here. Maybe that's your motivation. I don't know. I think it might be for some people who voted for Trump, right? If so, please consider that Trump is also now firing immigration judges in large numbers with no explanation and no notice. With more than 3 million immigration cases backlogged in the system, they are firing the judges who handle those cases, which will grind the system further to a halt. Because efficiency. Tonight, the Washington Post is reporting, and NBC News has confirmed, that whatever Trump has sent Elon Musk's people to do at the Social Security Administration, it was apparently alarming enough to the career official running that agency right now that she resigned. Quote, the acting commissioner of the Social Security Administration left her job this weekend after a clash with Elon Musk's U.S. DOGE service over its attempts to access sensitive government records. Again, that's sensitive government records at Social Security. This follows a story also broken this weekend by the Washington Post that Elon Musk is also trying to access the most sensitive individual tax records that are maintained by the IRS.
Oh no, we're embarrassed. We screwed up. Our warehouse is overloaded with survival food kits. But our mess is your gain. You win.
This commercial. Okay, we're back. We're beyond.
But I also have to note, and I kind of can't believe this, but for the 5th time since Donald Trump was sworn in just 4 weeks ago, we are also tonight watching developments in yet another plane crash. This time, it's a Delta Connections flight that originated in Minneapolis. It crashed on landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport. The flight was carrying 80 people. 18 have been injured. Some of them have been hospitalized. The FAA commissioner had taken action against Elon Musk's SpaceX company. Musk demanded his resignation. He resigned on Inauguration Day. Trump didn't bother appointing a replacement to run the FAA until after the first plane crash of this presidency, the midair collision over the Potomac River in Washington that killed 67 people. That was soon followed by another deadly plane crash in Northeast Philadelphia, which killed people both on the plane and on the ground. That was soon followed by another deadly plane crash in Alaska. In between, we had a plane crash into a tug on the ground at Chicago O'Hare, critically injuring an airport worker. We had a flight catch fire on the tarmac at Houston. Passengers had to evacuate not just down the stairs, but down the slides. We had 2 planes smash into each other on the ground at SeaTac. We had a small jet careen off the end of a runway into another small jet last week in Arizona. 4 people injured in that crash, 1 person killed. And now we have had this new crash of the Minneapolis to Toronto flight with the...
So, y'all didn't know all these air disasters had happened this week. Y'all didn't know about all these air disasters. Y'all didn't know about all this shit. See, because did you guys see that fucking Alaska plane that they said that it was it crashed right outside of Nome, and it went from one end of Alaska to the other end, and the only thing in between it was water. And then when they found it, both of the wings were torn off, and you see it sitting there. And then I was like, but it's on land. And Nome is like right on the beach. And I was like trying to figure out, And that was frozen, the frozen seawater. I was like, it looked like all land around them. It was the frozen seawater. 10 people lost their lives in that. In Chicago, the plane ran into the push tractor, the tractor that they push airplanes out, and unalived one of the workers who was in the tractor. Like, all of this crazy shit is going on, but you don't hear about they talking about all this other dumb shit, lies, and all of this shit, when it's some real serious stuff that is affecting and taking lives out here behind incompetence. Did y'all know about any of all of that shit that happened? All Me Baby 73 said, I did. This is a mess. Hey, Miss 313, thank you for being here. And all Me Baby, thank you guys for being here. So,
plane now upside down on the runway. There have been 5 plane crashes in the United States.
Now, there have been 5 plane crashes in the United States. Let her finish.
Or flights originating in the United States since Donald Trump started the second term as president 4 weeks ago. The Trump administration just, between plane crashes 4 and 5, told hundreds of employees at the FAA that they are fired. Many of them expecting to be locked out of their offices as of tomorrow, which will be another day, once again, in the immediate aftermath of yet another plane crash, because we've had 5 so far since Donald Trump has been in office this term. The government does all sorts of things for which we need experience, expertise,
Okay, so I'm going to drop this link here for you. And I read yesterday that right off the bat, Delta is offering every it said passengers, so I assume that it would be every passenger $30,000 for that aircraft that crash. But I know a couple of people, got out unscathed, and a couple of people had some types of minor injuries, but I don't think that they're going to be able to wash that crash away with $30,000. Now let's talk about remember he signed an executive order that he was going to make his Justice Department not go after wrongfully go after people seeking retribution. I forget how he put it. So weaponizing the Justice Department. He signed an executive order that he would not weaponize the Justice Department. That's what he did. A whole executive order. So now, who got confirmed as the FBI head of the FBI? None other than Kash Patel, who wrote a book that has 61 names of people he say that are in the deep state. The guy who said that if he was the FBI director, he would close down the J. Edgar Hoover building and the next day open it up as a museum of the deep state. This is who the FBI director is. But let's look at what is going on with this man, Garcia. Did you guys hear about this? Okay.
Area of Southern California, and he's in the barrel at the moment. The Trump administration has their eyes on him, and more than that. And I want to get into that here. But hey, what's up first? Welcome to the Bulwark YouTube.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks.
Appreciate you. All right, so here's what has happened that prompted this. Eagle Ed Martin, people who are watchers of this would know already, is the new, I guess, temporary U.S. attorney. Hasn't been confirmed yet for the Washington, D.C. He's a longtime hack I've seen around Republican circles. is a ridiculous choice to be the U.S. Attorney for D.C. Is just me editorializing there. And it's proven by the fact that he sent you this letter today. He said, I respectfully request that you clarify your comments from a February 12th CNN interview. You were asked how Democrats can stop Elon Musk. Congressman Garcia, you spoke clearly. What the American people wants is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy. That sounds to some like a threat to Mr. Musk, a person who you called a dick. He goes on from there. So I guess the government wants to police your use of metaphor, and I'm wondering how you take that.
That's absolutely right. I mean, this is completely ridiculous. To essentially,
so he's a stand-in. Let me see. What is he again? He's just a stand-in.
Area of Southern California, and he's in the barrel at the moment. The Trump administration has their eyes on him, and more than that. And I want to get into that here. But hey, what's up first? Welcome to the Bulwark YouTube. Appreciate you. All right, so here's what has happened that prompted this. Eagle Ed Martin, people who are watchers of this would know already, is the new, I guess, temporary U.S. attorney. Hasn't been confirmed.
Okay, so he's waiting on his confirmation. He's not a stand-in. He's waiting to be confirmed, but he's already sending a letter out to him. And so if he don't even have the job, why is he even sending a letter out to him? And let's understand that he's waiting to be confirmed, and he has never tried a case. He has never tried a case. But he's not in the position. This is the third person who have not been voted into the position. Kash Patel, who was telling them to fire people at the FBI when he was still waiting on confirmation, and Russ Vought, who was not in the Office of Management and Budget, who initiated the federal freeze. He had not been voted in, and they took his advice to do the federal freeze. So we're not surprised that this man. Okay, so we're gonna find out more about him. So he used a metaphor, kind of like the don't take a knife to a pow fight. And he said that you seem like you're threatening Elon Musk. I need more information. So you can tell he's not a trial lawyer, because if you really thought that that's what it was, you're not going to send him a letter. It sounds like you committed a crime. Can you explain that to me? Let's continue.
Cutting political deals.
I think that's absolutely right. And I think what's also really concerning is, what we're hearing, and you've talked about this and others, people right now at this moment want to see Democrats fight against everything you just talked about.
Yeah.
They want to see us engaged. They want us to match the energy that's on the ground. They want us to make sure that we're, fighting fire with fire. And yet at the same time, they want to attack the DOJ, Trump, Elon Musk. They want to attack us and those of us that are out there speaking out forcefully. And so it's also very concerning.
Hi, it's Jason from Fraser Valley Rose Farm. Today I want to tell you...
Sorry, let's get past the commercial.
Could have a chilling effect on other folks that actually want to come out and criticize and oppose. And so I think what I've been telling folks, I've talked to a lot of folks, members of the House and others that have been very supportive. And I said, look, we can't allow this singling out of me. It's not really about me, right? This is about silencing critics and critics in Congress, even though we're constitutionally protected with our speech to be able to oppose the Trump administration. I mean, we're literally, as Congress, our job is to be the loyal opposition, and in this case, unloyal opposition if we need to be, to the administration.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're talking about how you guys have protection, and it's important that you don't back down, because to me, just beyond their abuse of the Justice Department, which is very concerning. The other concerning thing is that other people look at this and say, it's just not worth it for me to speak out. Right. And that's how you get into kind of how soft authoritarians shut down criticism. Right. Because
Exactly. Make you scared to be opposed and to speak out. That's what they're doing.
People are like, somebody that doesn't have the protections that you do, the staff, the access to donors and lawyers if needed, right? Like a regular person thinks, if I get this letter from the DOJ because of something that I posted, like that could have real effects on my life. And I think that they know that, and that is part of their strategy to silence people.
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, one is it's clear that the message they were trying to send to me was a broader message to Democrats, right, and Democrats in the House, but also a very clear message through this action and others that they're willing to go after whoever they perceive as enemies or critics. And that is not just elected officials or members of Congress. That's going to be members of the media. That is going to be other folks that are out there protesting in the streets and trying to push back against what Elon Musk is trying to do and raiding the federal government so he and his billionaire friends can get tax cuts. So this is all should be very concerning. The Trump administration just started. It has not been going on for that long, and already the kind of weaponization things, by the way, that Donald Trump, as you know, during the campaign said he wouldn't do. He's not going to go after his critics, and I think we're just seeing that fall apart. We cannot allow this to silence us, especially at this very moment when our institutions are being attacked so fiercely.
Yeah, well, to this point about how they campaigned, like this is obviously an absurd attack on your First Amendment rights, and so like at some level, it's almost like should we even address that? But I think you have to, because there are people out there that, whether we agree or disagree with them, had legitimate concerns about their free speech rights, maybe not about the First Amendment, but about their free speech rights and what.
Okay, so I played a little more of that one than I wanted to. I wanted you to see this one, and you can see the experience that this person who brought these charges, wrote this letter, who is trying to intimidate him, what type of professional experience he has to even get the job that he's waiting to be voted
for a Democratic
in.
lawmaker, really crossing the Rubicon here. Can you explain what just happened?
Yeah, Brian, in all my years as a prosecutor, I never saw anything like this. The acting U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia wrote a letter to a representative, a member of Congress, saying, I think you may have communicated a threat, and I'd like some clarification. I don't know where to begin. This is as inappropriate, inane, irresponsible, and just plain old imbecilic from anything I ever saw from a United States attorney. And mind you, I was in that very office for decades, and I worked for 10 U.S. attorneys appointed by equal parts Democrat presidents and Republican presidents. This is not a thing. This is what happens when you take somebody who has never prosecuted so much as a parking ticket in his life, and you try to make him the top prosecutor in Washington, D.C., overseeing the largest U.S. attorney's office in the country, responsible for enforcing all of the laws, federal and local, in Washington, D.C., and you throw that guy into a position that he knows nothing about. Let's talk about what he has done and why it is completely imbecilic. So Representative Garcia made some statement in connection with talking about Elon Musk that said, look, we're in a fight, and, the public wants us to bring actual weapons to a bar fight because we're in a fight for our democracy. I'm paraphrasing here. And so apparently Elon Musk or some others complained to the U.S. attorney in the District of Columbia, Ed Stop the Steal Martin. I call him Stop the Steal Martin because he was.
Let's understand that's what bothered him. But let's listen to what did not bother this same man about January 6th and how he saw and related to January 6th. Now, here's the good part.
Was reportedly one of the organizers of what happened on January 6th. He was, had his feet on the ground, texting things out like this is like Mardi Gras on January 6, 2021. He was also served on a board that raised funds for J6 defendants. I could go on. He's an election denier. And so when Elon Musk apparently complained to Ed Martin.
Enough said. I'll drop the link for you guys. Enough said. It's what I'm saying is we're in bizarro world right now. Hey, Truth and Reason. I definitely agree with you, Truth and Reason. And it's just getting worse and worse by the day. Also, I want you to understand that I did not Photoshop this picture that is on my cover. This was an actual tweet that came out from the White House. I did not, this is not one of my made up pictures. This was a tweet from the White House. I didn't make this up. The White House. Congestion pricing is dead. They had some tier pricing in New York City. I don't know. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king, President Donald J. Trump. With this picture, which says, long live the king. And he's talking about pricing for the subway. Can you imagine? So this is the third day in a row. First, it was you don't break no when saving your country, you cannot be breaking any laws. Yesterday, I came to you with what was it yesterday? What was it yesterday? What was it yesterday? I forgot what it was yesterday. What was it yesterday? It wasn't that yesterday. I can't remember what it was. Something stupid yesterday, he said. I can't. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, he who saves his country does not violate any laws. And then it was one more. I forget what it was. This is sad and an attack on people. What was that other thing? The king thing. Who you break no laws. Oh, about the courts. He said about the courts that the courts he is the one over the courts who determines what is law. I forgot exactly how he put it. But let me see if I can find it. Oh, Trump saying that Trump orders. Oh, he wrote an executive order. Executive order. He did an executive order on this as well. That only he and the attorney general can interpret laws, and it is limited to the executive branch. Now we know that is the job of the legislative branch of government, but he did a whole executive order and said that only he and the attorney general can interpret laws, and it is limited to the executive branch. That's what he said. So these are three things so that you know that we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Okay. So that's all that I got. I hope you guys have a great day. That means that he can ignore court rulings. Court rulings don't mean anything. Court rulings, whatever. Hey, Vito, good Grand Rising, Tay forever. Embellic, rich idiot lunatics running America as a dictatorship, and laws of constitution within a democracy cannot coexist. Exactly. You're exactly right. And he has that attitude. He's the king, all right, just not the king of what he thinks. Hey, beautiful people. Yeah, so these are the things that he is putting out. I just want you to hear what this man is putting out. He who saves the country does not violate any law. And the second thing was he did an executive order saying that only he and the attorney general can interpret laws, and it is limited to the executive branch. And then he tweeted out yesterday this tweet about the subway system in New York City. Congestion they had some pricing that adjusted for congestion. Congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king, President Donald J. Trump. That came out of the White House. Now, aren't you afraid? If you're not afraid, I don't know why. I do not know why. So, Bernie Sanders came out and he said that the people are just going to have to rise up. He said, there have been protests in many cities, but he is of the idea that the people are really going to have to stand up and let him really understand that we're not going for this. So, I think it's on the people who voted for him, black people, men and women, overwhelmingly voted for him. So it's your turn. You guys, you non-black people, it's y'all turn, because y'all wanted to do anything but vote for a black woman when he told you what he was going to do. And your regrets has brought pain on this whole country because you refuse to vote for a black or a black woman. So you guys got us in this situation. Even black males who voted at a lower rate for her voted more than the rate for any other race of people who voted for her. So let's keep it real. There was only two choices. And you look at all of the people who threw their votes away talking about they voted for a third party person. So that did us no good either. Well, I didn't vote for her either. I voted for Jill Stein. What good did that do us? And and you sitting up here doing shows talking about how bad it is. But you voted for Jill Stein. We are in a pickle. We are in a mess. It means that I don't know. I heard, let me see what congestion, I don't know. I heard that they changed the prices during high traffic hours. Let me see exactly what this means. I never heard of it till I saw this post. Let me see what I can find. Here it is. Congesting pricing in New York City. Let me see what it is. The program is reducing traffic in the congestion relief zone, transforming the area from a gridlock to unlocked. Less traffic means cleaner air, safer streets, and better transit. I'll drop the link. It's a part of the MTA thing. Hey, Jill. Let me see what it is. Yeah, it's about toll rates. Oh, it's about toll rates. They have a little video. I'm not going to share it. I'll share the link to their little video because I don't want to have to take out any music or something that may appear on this video. Yeah, so that's the link, and it has a little video that explains it to you. Yeah, so there it is. There's the link to tell you. It doesn't say it out in words other than what I just read to you. Vehicles entering the congestion relief zone in Manhattan, local streets and avenues at below 60th Street are now being charged a toll. Okay, so if you're entering certain streets at certain times, you're going to be charged a toll. That's what it is. All right, so that's all that I have. Anything else you guys want to talk about while I'm here? What did Jill do? They made a great choice. What do you mean they made a great choice? You talking about when I said they voted for Jill Stein? Oh, shut up. They ain't vote for your ass. Jill Stein. All right, guys. That's all I have today. I didn't meet my goals today. But I am glad that some people learned something today. Very Carrie, you didn't go live this morning? I didn't see your live this morning, Very Carrie. When are you going to go back live, do you think? Or have you thought about it? I don't want to rush you. I just want the people to know, because a lot of people love your brain teasers. My voice hasn't come back fully. Well, you rest your voice, and maybe sometime next week. Yes, continue to heal. Do not rush back. But we miss you. That's all I'm saying. So maybe a good live writing cue, always informative. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Nini. I appreciate your support. Okay. I'll try to come sometime next week. Don't rush it. Okay. So and you guys hold Yaya up in prayer. She hasn't been feeling her best. And it's cold out there. And a view is a view. Miss Toby, they're going through some cold weather. So keep them in your heart. Oh, the doctor put you down for 1 week. You lucky he ain't put you down, just put you down. Like somebody need to put Diamond Ring Dory down, put you down. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. The doc said I should sit my arse down. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend and remainder of your day. I will probably see you guys on the YouTube streets here and there. But if you guys now look, I done forgot the name of the goddamn on Netflix. What is the name of the series that I'm watching? If you guys have not watched Narcos, see, I'm not a narc. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to even think of the word, because I'm not a narc. So, did you decide what you are making for your Easter Mother Day? Did you decide the dates? Did you decide what dates we're gonna start? Don't forget, we're doing crafting and conversation. We're going to try to do that throughout the year for different events and holidays to show you different things that you can create. It doesn't have to be specific to any holiday. We're just showing you how you can create with your hands, and you can change it up if you would like to. So our next crafting and conversation, we're going to have Easter and Mother's Day combined. So we can do it on an Easter theme, or we can do it on a Mother's Day theme. We try to do them far enough out from the actual date, because if you have decorations for Easter, you want it out prior to Easter. So that's why we're trying to do it ahead of time, so you can at least have your decorations out for Easter for a good amount of time, because they're going to be so beautiful and nobody's going to believe that you created that. You're going to want to have them out as long as you can. Okay, so we try to get things that are cost effective, and just do different ideas. Myself, Jill's Comfort Zone, DC Kool-Aid, oh my God, just read my book. Every time I don't know, when I do just read my book and under new management, I be confusing their names. I always want to say the other name for one, and they're not like each other. I guess because they have a three word name. I apologize. I hope Auntie Donna participate with us. That's not my job. I'm going to decide my own date and time. Okay. Thanks for keeping everyone up to date with politics events. Ronnie Q, always informative, resourceful with a mix of other current events. Glad I was able to catch a live. I was glad you were able to catch a live as well, Regina M. Thank you. How do you pronounce your name? Antigone. You have a great weekend as well. How do you pronounce your name? Antigone. Well, and since I always keep you informed, you keep us informed. I'm going to look at the calendar, and I'm going to choose the date so we can choose our project. So we try to make it cost effective, and we try to make it we try to do some nice craft. Go through our craft and conversation live. I think Jill has 2 on her channel. I have 2 on my channel. DC Kool-Aid has 1 on her channel. They're called Craft and Conversations. Go check them out. We try to make some nice things that you would like to have. Hey, viewers of you, that you would like to have in your home. Tuberville is one of the dumbest crackers on the planet. Yes, he is. Tommy Tuckerville. Oh my God, he's a nut job. Okay. Hey, viewers of you, you coming up? Great show. I've been listening. And a viewers of you supposed to be doing a collage show with us. I don't think she's chosen well, not with us. It's not part of the craft and conversation. She's gonna just have her own collage where we do a collage. I'm on my way to the doctor's, and I'm still doing the collage. Okay, have a great remainder of your day, of viewers of you. She will keep us posted on the date of her collage. Truth and Reason. Great seeing you here. Great seeing you all here. If you guys hadn't hit the like button, hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. And that's all that I have for today. And I have 2 people who I am sending out your keychains, 2 members that I'm sending out your keychains. I have not forgotten. Please forgive me, but I will be sending those out hopefully later on this morning. No, it is not funny, girl. It's a series. It's not Narc Mexico. It's like a drama series, and it shows. And I like it because it's a period. It's like start in the mid 70s, and it takes you through the 80s and the 90s and stuff. But it's about the how the cartel families got together in Mexico, and it's good, girl, but it's mostly subtitles. There is some English with the DEA agents and stuff, but some people don't like those, and I really didn't like those that much. It's some that I will watch if they're good. This is a whole 3 season, like 10 episodes each. So, and I am enthralled with it. So it's really good. Check it out. Just check out the preview. That's all. NARCS, Narcs. Yes. Narcs Mexico. Now somebody said that they have one Narcs Colombia too. It's a great series, Jill said. Yeah, so I'm almost done with Narcs Mexico. I think I'm gonna go in and finish it right now. So I hope you guys have a great day. I appreciate you guys for coming out, and that's it, and that's all for me. Yeah, go watch Narcs. And it's some good something good opened on Netflix yesterday on the 20th. I can't remember what it was, but go check the new releases on Netflix, because it's 2 things that they have coming out that look like they're really good, and they're not comedies. They're more like suspense things. Could be more than 2, but they just release a lot of new things on Netflix. So get you some real entertainment. All right, guys. I'll check you guys out on Monday. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q.